Hello everyone, my name is Kirti and I am an assistant professor in ITM. Today I am going to discuss the following concepts. Number one is risk assessment and transfer. What is risk? An uncertain event or condition which if occurs would have an undefined or unknown impact on achievement of objective. So basically risk is an uncertainty of future or possibility of financial loss. See, there we can define the loss in two ways: mental loss or financial loss. Insurance is not a device which covers the mental loss, it is a device which covers the financial loss or financial risk. So basically a risk is an uncertain event which lacking behind you to achieve your objective. See, there are some casual forces like fire, wind, hail, explosion, and some human perils like theft, riot, vandalism, negligence, and there are some economic perils, stock market declines, inflation, technological advances. So these are the forces which moving towards the risk. Now what is the concept of insurable risk? A risk that conforms to the norms and specification of the insurance policy in such a way that criterion for insurance is fulfilled is called an insurable risk. See, there are various essential conditions that need to be fulfilled before the acceptance of insurability of any risk. In case of a scenario where the loss is too huge that no insurer would want to pay for it, the risk is said to be uninsurable, right? So a risk may not be termed as insurable if it is immeasurable, very large, certain or not definable. It means the concept of insurable risk states that risk should be measurable, not so large. Not so large means it is measurable, it is not like it cannot be calculated, right? Then move to classification of risk. Number one is pure risk. Pure risk states like no prospects of gain, only loss. Damage risk like risk of loss to personal belongings due to theft, accident, fire and natural disaster. Liability risk means economic loss resulting because you are being held responsible for harming others or their property. Personal risk means risk of death, poor health or outliving savings. Next, move to speculative risk. It offers the possibility of gain or loss. They are generally not insurable. Gambling and investing in the stock market are two examples of speculative risk. Then move to fundamental risk. Fundamental risks affect the large section of the society, even the world, rather than the individual. Next is particular risk. Particular risks that affect only individual, not the entire community. For example, theft, auto accident, and most of the insurable risks are particular risks. Next is financial risk. Financial risk means where the outcome of an event can be measured in monetary terms. For example, theft of a property which may be a motorcycle, motor car, machinery, household items, loss in a business due to fire damages, the material property, personal injuries, accidents. Next is non-financial risk. Non-financial risk either is that the outcome of which cannot be measured in monetary terms. There may be wrong choice or wrong decision which give rise to a possible discomfort as disliking but not being capable of valuation in monetary terms. For example, choice of a car, its brand or color, career selection. So since the outcome cannot be valued in monetary terms, we shall call that these non-financial risks are uninsurable. Now move to methods of handling risk. There are four methods. Number one is avoiding. Stock market, if you do not know anything about the stock market, so just avoid the risk, not invest in any stock market to avoid the financial loss. Second is controlling, take steps to prevent losses like controlling the risk of fire in a cotton godown by banning smoking in godown. Then accepting to accept or retain the risk or to assume all financial responsibility for that risk. Then is transferring the risk to another party and shifting the financial responsibility to that party just for carefree life. For example, insurance, because insurance is a device where you can transfer your risk and set free. So why we require the insurable risk? See, requirements of insurable risk are sufficient number of homogeneous exposure, the loss may occur by chance, the loss must be definite, significant, and loss rate must be predictable. So these are some insurable risk which need to be covered by the insurance policy. Now move to risk assessment and transfer. So risk assessment is a methodology used by insurer for evaluating and assessing the risk associated with an insurance policy. Right, so this it help in calculation of correct premium for an insured, and there are different kinds of risk associated with the insurance like mortality rate, morbidity rates, catastrophic risk. Mortality rate which declares the rate of death and survival, right. Morbidity rate means that declares like the disease is going on in the world, what the rate, what the frequency in which it is increasing. Catastrophic risk means that affect the large number of society. Condition, then personal history, family, occupation, residence, personal habits. Age, because the age of the life to be assured is the most important factor to affect mortality. The age group is very essential for calculating premium. Build means, build refers to the physique of the proposed life, includes height, weight, chest expansion. Physical condition of the age life proposed has a direct bearing on the mortality of the life. Insurer therefore very particular about the condition of applicant's sight, hearing, heart, arteries, lungs, tonsil, teeth, kidneys, nervous system. Next move to personal history. Personal history of the life proposed would reveal the possibility of death to him. So health record, their past habits, their previous occupation, insurance history should be disclosed properly. Then move to family history. Family history also requires information of habit, health, occupation, insurance of other family members, particularly parents, brothers and sisters, and the children history of health is also required. So the family history is considered significant to know the transmission of certain characteristics by heredity. Next is occupation. So occupation, it affects the occupation in various ways. Firstly, the nature of work may be hazardous. They want to know, insurance company want to know if the nature of the work may be hazardous because he may suffer an accident at any time while at work. Secondly, the morale of the workers may go down and they may be indulging in intoxicating or liquors or other forms of immoral living. And thirdly, the chemical effect may be poisonous and there is a dusty or unventilated house, right. And the occupational disease are very crucial because cause financial worries, and even the lesser income may affect the health of the worker. Then move to residence. So the residence also affect the risk. The risk will be lesser in a good climate area and more in the bad climate. Next is personal habits. So the general mode of living of the proposer affect the risk. For example, drunkards cause increase in mortality. Now move to how the risk could be transferred. So many people buy insurance in order to gain security and peace of mind. Comprehensive insurance policy can protect our assets, our health, our loved ones. Insurance contract function by shifting the risk you face every day to your insurance company. So the transfer of risk is an essential tenet of insurance contract. When you purchase an insurance policy, the insurance company will agree to indemnify you for a certain amount of loss in exchange for your payment of a set premium. So insurance policy, which is a legally binding contract affecting passes the risk from a party who does not want to take it on to the party who is willing to take on the risk in exchange for a fee, that is called premium. The premium has been charged by the insurance company just because of they are catching your risk, they are taking your risk and you can, that is why you can set free. Next move to double insurance. Now what is double insurance? When the same risk and same subject matter is insured with more than one insurance policy is called double insurance. In double insurance, the insured get the same subject matter insured with more than one insurer or under more than one policy with the same insurance. So, if the sum insured exceed the original value of the subject matter, that is called over insurance. The over insurance is lawful if the owner of the house insured his house against a fire rupees 3 lakh with X. X is an insurance company, let us suppose, and rupees 1 lakh with Y. That is called double insurance. Means there is a one person A and there is two insurance company X and Y, right. So, A first of all go to the X and insure their house with rupees 2 lakh with rupees something 2 lakh, let us suppose 2 lakh, and the rest of the 1 lakh he go to the Y and insured his house with rupees 1 lakh. So, that is double insurance. Now, move to reinsurance. So, reinsurance implies an arrangement wherein the insurance transfer a part of the risk by insuring it with another insurance company. It can be claimed from the original insurer who will be claim the same loss from the reinsurer. It is a device which reduces the risk of the insurer. Basically, see, if someone has a very big enterprise and he want to insure his enterprise, he has go to some he has gone to some insurance company, but that insurance company is not capable to insure the whole enterprise. But along with that, the insurance company don't want to lose the client. So, it is an internal arrangement made by that insurance company. What that do? He just go to another insurance company and make an arrangement, make an internal arrangement that we combine together and insure that particular enterprise, but this arrangement is either known or unknown to the insured, right. So, that is a reinsurance. So, basically it is an internal arrangement where the insurance company is not capable to completely insure the whole enterprise or to insure the whole subject matter because it is too he just go to the other insurance company and make an internal arrangement that we just, for example, it's make an arrangement like 40 30 30 ratio with there is a three insurance company and they can arrangement like I just bear the loss of 40%, you just bear the loss 30% and you just bear the loss 30%, and the premium which is given by the insured, that is also divided in the same ratio. So, that is a reinsurance, right. So, students, that is all for today. Thank you so much.